Hey yo, Dan. How we sounding? Check. Let me gas it up. Let me talk it up. 21, 25, I didn't give a f. See, I was raised round the youngest and oldest. You down for the beat, then you grab this and hold it up. You flick it, then you poke it. Check. It couldn't happen to me.
Hello and welcome to Walk a Mile in My Shoes. I am your host Keely, and today's special guest is Leo GoldenChild.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I'm really interested in where did Leo GoldenChild come from?
It's a bit of a long story, I guess. When I was 13, I was trying to identify a name that I could have as a stage name, because in this area was like Tiny Temper and Tincture Cider.
Yeah.
So I wanted something with sort of two syllables.
Yeah.
And I never got a chance to meet my granddad, but he was Cuban. So I wanted a name that sort of identified him.
Yeah.
So in Cuban, it was sort of Leo was head of the family, and then the GoldenChild, my brother had passed away at birth. So I just linked them.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. If you would have asked me to guess, I would have thought that you was a Leo star sign and that you was just a golden child and you was just a good child. But yeah. Yours is better.
Borderline there. Yeah.
So what do you do, Leo? Who are you?
That's a good question. I would say I'm an all-rounder, I guess. I create music. Yeah. I help young people out in Coventry and around sort of Warwickshire area doing youth work. Nice. And acting. I really try to utilise everything I can to try and encourage people, I guess.
Yeah. Bring them into the best version of themselves. I like that.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
It's because I always say, I'm like, I want to be the best version of myself and encourage everyone else to do the same. But I feel like so many people are on this now because you kind of know what it's like to not be the best version of yourself. And when you know that you can change things for yourself, you want to help people. That's because you're a good soul, and that's why we're here today.
Oh, the compliments are just weaving off.
God, I'm empowering you.
Hey, I want to be like you, though.
No, I want to be like you.
I think for me, which you're probably going to go into, I faced a lot of sort of difficulties in school. So when I was sort of growing up, it wasn't seen as nice or pretty to be sort of darker complexion. So I used to get a lot of criticism in school because of my complexion. Weirdly enough, off my own culture.
Did you go to a white school?
I didn't. I went to a mixed school. I could
joking?
say the school, but I don't know if you want me to. But I went to a mixed school, and in and out of my group, I was the darkest person in my group, which means that I got a hell of a lot of stick to the point of trying to bleach my own skin.
Oh my God. That's really sad.
Yeah.
I've never really spoke about like my school times, but I went to a school, it was the majority of the people were white. I'm mixed. I'm actually only quarter caste, but I came out a little bit darker, but I like it.
You look like mixed, well,
like half, but I am only quarter.
Sweet,
but because like I was probably like the only mixed race person. Well, I was the only mixed race person in my history class because this is what I remember, and I remember on Black History Month. I've never spoke about this before. On Black History Month, I got such a complex because when we was talking about like slave trade and stuff, I obviously knew bits from my granddad, but I never delved into it as a young teenager. Wasn't educated enough, but the way that it made me feel, apart from sad and everything that was going on, was like segregated from the rest of the class because people were looking at me for my reaction, and it was you kind of like. It's not a very nice feeling. You feel like you pushed out, and you feel, so carry on. Sorry.
Now I was going to ask you, as I know you're asking me, but was there ever a time when you kind of felt out of place? Like
100%, and I lost my temper because I was in English, and it was just around the time when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton was going up for president.
Okay.
We had my English teacher, a class debate, and the debate was, would you rather the female president or like the black male president? And everybody said the female president, and I could feel myself like I'd had enough. I could feel myself like bubbling up, like I don't care, my ancestors were coming through me, because it was I stood up in the middle of the class. No, first he asked somebody why, and they said because if he does it, then they'll do things their way.
Wow.
And I stood up in the class and I looked at my teacher. I've always been a little bit of a fiery little soul. And I went, how dare, I was 14 years old. I said, how dare you ask this question when I'm sitting there? Like, I just went crazy, and he went blood red because he probably, because I'm mixed race, he probably seen me as white. I don't know how he's seen me, but regardless of that, it did not sit right well with me. And the class was dismissed then, and then everybody went, and he sat down with me after and like spoke to me. But I was bored. I didn't go to school after that. I was in like year 10. I only went really back to school then for like my GCSEs and stuff because I felt out of place. It was like, I don't know. But
especially if you're the minority, I guess, in there, you kind of, but it's good that you voiced. Like,
yeah. If I'm very passionate with my beliefs, if I've got something on my mind,
you gotta say it.
But we're walking a mile in your shoes. Here
Cool,
I go again.
Cool. But yeah, so I guess like you were saying about sort of the name and stuff, I got to an age where I'm like, being dark skin is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, it is cool.
It is cool. The black and the berries, the sweet and the juice.
You know what? Fist bump. We need to fist bump. Yeah. But it's that type of thing. And that, so you said self-confidence, 25. I thought, this is it. So as I was building up my characters, when I started coming out with sort of finding different music to do and my stage name, and I fell in love with myself, I guess I should say. Yeah.
What prompted you to get to that point? So obviously school, you felt a little bit like... what's the word? Lacked confidence because of your appearance, which you're very attractive, and that makes me feel sad. So then growing up, I've been doing a lot of work on like shadow work, which is basically you've got your soul, you've got who you are, who you was born, and then your shadow work is when people throw judgment on you or people attack you for something, not just physically, mentally or emotionally or whatever, or judge you, all that kind of stuff. When they do that, your shadow you is born, and that's where all like your fears and your insecurities lie. And then when people then come at you with something, the older you get, the bigger your shadow gets, and then you can actually react from a place of your shadow, so it's not actually a true reflection of you because your soul has been like overtaken because of people being nasty and horrible.
These people is why I'm scared, because I feel like it's scary.
I know.
I'm only playing.
We had a chat before and I was going into spiritual and I said something about a different realm. It's like, what? Who are you?
It is cool. That was the accuracy, because you almost do have this shadow, like you said, I guess. And it's about actually saying, you're not there as you're getting older. But yeah, I'll shut up now.
No, I want you to talk.
Nah.
So you got to 25, and what kind of made you come into yourself and embody who you really are?
Good question, I'd say. I would say is when I was in school, I had a special needs teacher because I couldn't read or write. So when I used to write, weirdly enough, I used to write backwards. So my S is, if I was to write this, it would be SEOHS. I never knew why. And there was one teacher, Mrs. Farrell, God rest her soul. She was like 90 in her 90s, and she used to take me out the class. She used to say, "Howard, you come out?" And I used to get really excited with my book, and I'd run out. And she used to give me a piece of paper and crayons, and she used to say, "Just draw." And she said I would just draw. I'd just draw. And she said to my mum, when Howard sees, I just said my name.
I know, yeah, gotcha.
when he sees green, he'll draw red. And she said he's so creative. He's gonna be an author or poet. And she passed. But it's when she believed in me, I guess, and I would
believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you've got obviously when you're in school and you're different to the majority of the children, on about you reading and writing and stuff now, it's even worse for you, isn't it? You feel even worse, like you don't fit in it like at all now. What a horrible feeling. But actually, as you get older, you realise that is what makes you stand out. That is what makes you who you are. And actually, who wants to be like everybody else? I don't.
I was wearing briefs instead of boxers, man. I didn't want to stand. Well, I wanted to stand. No, I think I was forced to wear those. But no, I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But along the way, you know, God had sent me the correct people to build my character.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Farrell, and I met Mark. I'm not sure if I've told you about Mark Tallis.
No, tell me about Mark Tallis.
So when I had left primary school and got into secondary school, I had a planned move. Didn't have a good time in school at all, once again, for my complexion. And then I went to do work in Marks and Spencer's, which is for a while. And I remember one time I was we used to have deliveries in the morning. And I had taken the stacks out, and my mum had a stroke at this point. And as I was taking the sacks out the back, I just started to cry. I was just I don't know what it was. It was a build-up. I remember sitting down on the stack. I threw all the food up, put it on the floor, and I just sat crying. And someone had been watching me, an assistant, and she come up and gave me a hug, and we spoke and stuff. And then I wiped my eyes, went back onto the till, and as I was there, I didn't know, but I must have been rapping. And this guy came in, bold guy, blue eyes, and he's like, you sounded pretty all right. And is this something you want to pursue? I said, yeah. I said, I really want to get into singing or professional music. Yeah. He said, right, my name's Mark. Here's my flyer card. Call me whenever you want. So I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, I got scared. Didn't call him. And along the process I was doing open mics, I was going to London. There was only 3 people there, but I was still treating those 3 people as if it was an arena.
Yeah. And it's confidence building. You got to start small.
Most definitely. And I got a call. I didn't know there was an A&R scout for X Factor in the audience. And at this point, they had asked, do you want to support a boy band called Union J? I didn't know who they were. So I said, yeah, I'll go for it. So I went to Shrewsbury. I love Shrewsbury. And I opened the curtain. There was probably about 3,000 people. I was like, oh my god, this is scary. And I'm a rapper, a black guy from Birmingham. How am I gonna win over this audience that are here for a boy band? So I found Mark's number. I called Mark and I said, I need some advice. I'm scared. And I remember he said to me, Leo, give everything 100%. If you were going to, I don't know, go on a date and you gave 50% of your character, she's now going to walk off and go, he was all right. And I'm going to walk off and go, I could have given her so much more there.
Yeah.
If you give it 100%, you want to be judged on your 100%.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I totally smashed it. Literally smashed it.
That's really inspirational.
Yeah.
Was you nervous? Like, my friend showed me a beat. I do some singing.
Well, okay.
I don't believe in myself enough to pursue singing this. So when I do it, I'm really like quiet, unless I'm in the studio and whatever. Had a bit of a drink. I'm joking. Well, I'm not. And then I feel like I start to shake and I get really anxious. Did you feel like that, or could you battle through it?
I got to the shaking stage, but I learned to use that shaking stage as fuel. Transmute
the energy, anxiety into excitement.
I love it, I do love it. Genuinely did do that though, whatever I was doing, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna judge me anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd go on there and smash it, and I just made sure every show was personal. What I did used to do is, if you was in the audience, Mark had taught me this trick where if I look at you now, I'm actually looking at your eyebrows, but it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm not. I'm looking at your eyebrows.
That's really good. I'm going to do that to everybody.
You go. So I would do that, and then I'd probably stop the music and I'd make it personal. I'd say, I don't know, the lady at the front here, you're looking really good, or the guy here is looking really good as well. I'd just make it personal. Then it becomes a conversation.
Yes. I like you. This is good. Tell me more. So what happened after you did the X Factor thing?
So after the X Factor stuff, we got shows with sort of supporting Dappy, and I built a massive fan base in Shrewsbury, Telford, Oswestry, that area. I don't know why, but I did. And I said to Mark, I want to do a school tour now. I said, why don't we go into schools and talk to young carers like what I was doing with my mum? Because I can say I'm my mummy's, but I love her with all my heart. She's my rock, and a lot of my music is about her. So my time in school was I'd climb over the gate and go to the hospital and feed the grapes, or I didn't care about studying and stuff. So I said, I want to speak to young carers, and I want to speak to kids that are being bullied and the bullies.
Yes.
So what we did is we went to our first school in Shrewsbury, free of charge.
Who did you do that with?
Mark Tallis, my manager.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's literally my dad, man. He's done.
So he literally came. Well, how old was you when you was in Marks and Spencer's?
I was about 16, 17.
Oh, so you was only young then.
I was young, yeah.
And then he's just kind of been a positive role model influence in your life since then. Shout out to Mark.
Big up Mark every time, man. You know what it is though? This is why I believe in fate, because he came at the right time. I needed him then.
Yes.
And there was times where I'd go around to his house to cry.
Aww.
So, I haven't seen my dad for almost 20 odd years.
Oh.
So this is a guy who's different background. He doesn't owe me a favour. He doesn't have to be there.
Many blessings. Yeah.
So, and I guess we started the school tour, and the schools wanted to charge us, and we kept saying no, because the message holds too much weight.
Yeah.
So we used to go in there. We won an award.
Well done.
By Marks and Spencer's. And it went massive. I can go on to, we stopped people from self-harming.
Brilliant.
The list really goes on.
Did you struggle with your mental health?
Weirdly enough, no.
Really?
No.
You're very strong then. You're very strong-willed. Do you believe in God and stuff?
I'm Christian.
Oh yeah. So you've got that strong. See, I wasn't born into faith, so I didn't really know much about higher power or anything like that. I think, but when you are born into knowing that there is a force greater than yourself, then you've always got that extra little bit of support backing you. So
most definitely, you're always sort of protected, regardless of not knowing it. You are
divinely protected.
Divinely protected.
100%. And do you go to church and stuff now, or?
What, before COVID I did.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about COVID.
Well, I actually I've never really touched upon this situation, which is weird. My friends used to go. I didn't used to go. I was still out with the lads and just chilling and doing whatever I kind of wanted to. And I had a situation about 3 years ago where my friend was in an altercation with a few young lads. And I was called to go down. And at this stage, my temperament was a bit all over the place, but luckily I had music. And I went to this situation to sort of stop the argument. And at this point, one of the guys had shouted something, and I had a shotgun pulled out to me from about 10 feet from each other. And as I said, I'm a life coach. I help kids. I'm a youth worker, and I was in a situation from trying to stop a situation. And I remember, Keely, everything went really slow. Slow. I can't even break. It's really slow. And I remember saying to myself, I'm gonna die now. And I mentally prepared myself. I feel sick talking about it.
I felt that.
Yeah. It genuinely did feel like that. And words just come out. I thought about my mum, and I thought about one of my friends, James. I don't know why I thought about James. I haven't seen him for years. And I braced myself. But words just came out, and I went, I'm gonna use that over a girl, really? And he made him, what are you doing? I said, you're going to use it over a girl. Anyway, we had a discussion. He put it down, he disarmed it. And I found out he was only 17, he was autistic. And they were using him. So that situation, he was very vulnerable. And it was that same situation, Keely, that allowed me that was my testimony to really give my heart to God and pursue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For getting me through, saving my life.
Making me speak, man. Seriously, really did change me.
No weapon formed against you shall
prosper. Oh, you see, you got bars, you know. You see. Yeah, man, that was a solid moment. And yeah.
So what? Tell me more. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's cool. So ever since then, it's been.
So how old was you at this point? I'm just trying to timeline it.
So at this point, I was at.
How old was you with the X Factor support act?
The X Factor, that went on for a few years. That did.
Okay.
So I was in between the ages of 19 and 25.
Okay, that's really good.
Because it went on. Okay. Shouts out to the Button Market Shrewsbury as well. It went on. So that was Union J, as I said, Rough Copy, Miss Dynamics, Abbey Alto, Connor Maynard.
Did you get a really good reception from them?
Oh, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good.
Proper good reception.
Did your confidence grow and all that kind of stuff?
The reason why, Keely, is that was my arena. In school, I didn't have one. I was a kid at the back, and if anybody was being slated, it was always, oh, there's the dark one. And I never knew why. So school was never my arena. I couldn't be me.
Yeah.
So when I got onto the stage, this is my playground now.
Yeah.
Now I've got you in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
Have a listen to this.
Yeah.
Take
that,
man. And it just, it just worked. I could see My mum, who was at this point, she'd just got her walking back, so she was out of a wheelchair now. She's standing up. The audience here, I can see her right above me. Massive complex. Mark's there as well. He's doing this to me because I used to get nervous and he used to say, "Get in the zone." So the way I would hold the mic, he used to sort of do this to me, and I'd know, put my hand a bit down. He's Mark. I can't, He
sounds like a really great man.
He is.
He really does. Did he do like managing and stuff before that?
Nope.
So that was his calling then.
Precisely.
Literally. Are you the only person that he manages now, or does he manage other people too?
He doesn't actually manage anyone now. He's like, when you ask him if he managed me, he'll always say, "I didn't really manage him. I just mentored him."
But you know that he did.
Literally, Mark was the only person that I would say helped me build integrity. I was the best man at his wedding.
Really?
And he taught me everything my dad didn't tell me.
That's
or
nice.
teach me.
Yeah. You still, that's so lovely because you still had that male figure, that strong male figure. So even though it wasn't your biological father that you got that teaching from, you still had somebody to guide you through.
Most definitely.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. So what are you doing moving forward then with everything? What is your life now? What do you do now?
So currently I'm working on my new EP, which is out on the 7th of March, Keely, which I know you already knew.
I didn't.
You see? No, I'm only playing. I've only just told you.
I'm supposed to know
I'm only playing. It's out on the 7th. I'll send it over to you.
It's 3 days after my birthday, so I'll never forget it. I'll always remember it now because I've got like a very sharp memory. Yeah, I don't forget things. I
When's my birthday?
Your birthday is the 22nd of January.
Oh Lord have mercy, palm wet.
We only had that conversation today, guys. I don't
1-0.
lie.
1-0. But I'm currently working on the EP. It's called Iron and Clay.
Oh, sounds good.
That's going to be really good.
Do you sing and rap?
Yeah. On there, I do. And I'm also going into doing documentaries as well.
Nice.
The reason why I've decided to do Iron and Clay and the documentaries is I'm not too sure if I touched upon a young lad who was fatally killed in Coventry.
No. Okay,
so about a year ago I was in the gym just training, and once again, fate again. Oh God. And I felt the urge there was a young lad on my left. I felt the urge just to get him to do a video because I like to record when I train. And I had asked this kid to record it, and I'm still going. He was saying, how to get to this size and blah blah blah. And I was like, I told him about the time and stuff. I said, "How old are you then?" He said, 14. I said, 14, what are you doing in here? He's like, my brother got me and he's a bit older. So I'm like, cool. We got talking. He told me about his interest in making music.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, he reminds me of me. And then I'm thinking about Mark at this point. I said, right, I don't know you, but I can see you're passionate. So this is what I'm going to do for you. I said, I'm going to pay for your studio time for the next 6 months free of charge if you can prove that you're studying while at school.
Yeah.
Once again, bearing in mind, he's a stranger. I don't know him from Adam and Eve. And he's like, what? Oh my God, really? Seriously? Can't wait to tell my mum and my dad and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we exchanged numbers and I got speaking to him. And I said, so how did your mum take it? And he was like, a bit of a long one with that. I said, why? And he'd said, I'm in foster care, but I put myself into care. I said, why? And he had told me about things that I've occurred. I was like, cool. And
you was his Mark.
Precisely. And that's what I wanted to be in his life. So that kid was about 6 months. We built a relationship, and then I had a shoot for one of my songs called Cold Days. I got him like a McDonald's, and he was so gassed. He got McFlurry all over the seats. And I remember going, what are you doing? Because I saw him like a little brother, and on the shoot he was like, we went back to mine, and I was cleaning the rooms out, and there's a spare room, and he kept saying, I remember he was lying flat, and he said, Leo, I just want all the girls in the world. And like, I used to just laugh when he used to say it. And he said, the jewellery, he went, Leo, don't worry, I'm going to look after you one day. I just want to say thank you. And he's lying flat, and he's just chilling out. And then after the shoot, about 3 months down the line, he had sort of called me, and he was like, I'm in trouble. I was like, what now? He said, I went on a date. And so I said, how did it go? He went, she didn't turn up. I'm in an area I don't know. So I picked him up with one of my friends, and I lectured him. And then he was like, he won't do it again. 3 months from then, she's near coming up to a year now. He moved to Coventry. This is our last conversation. Yeah, it's teary though. It's a teary one. And I said, so what's going on? And he started smoking. He's still 14 at this point. So I said, you need to stop smoking. He's like, I know.
Cigarettes, weed.
Weed. And he said he's got a lot going on and stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, you've got things you can be doing. Your training, your music, your boxing. He's like, I know. Anyway, he carried on. He was sending voice notes and stuff. And he told me he was experiencing racism. Then we just didn't speak for about 2 months. We didn't speak, and it's weird because I could see him watching my stories on Snapchat. Feels weird talking about it, to be fair. And I remember seeing a post, young lad from Birmingham fatally murdered, but I just disregarded it, Keely. I just flipped over. Then I remember thinking, this boy hasn't posted in a while. Nah, it's not him. But I didn't think about it, left it again. I'm in the studio. I'm eating my food. And then I got a call from one of the young people that we work with. Like, yeah, we can't go to this place because there was someone from Birmingham had passed. I'm like, yeah, who is this kid though? So I'm eating. I remember exactly where I was. I was in Ladywood eating some food, and they said his name, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Even now, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So the next day, I mourned for about a week, Keely. I mourned for about a week because he was like a little brother. I was actually going to adopt him. He didn't know this. I was in the process of adopting him. And as I said, it's deep because there was a documentary that came out 2 days ago on BBC Two called Forensics CSI, where they delve deep into how they can find forensics from people that have been murdered and stuff. And someone sent me a message saying, I don't know if you should watch it, but I think it's to do with the victim, you know. I told my mum and my sister, and they said, just don't watch it. Me being me. You said stubborn. What did I do? I put it on, and I shed a tear, Keely. The reason why I shed a tear, because it was him. And he was stabbed sort of 14 to 18 times.
Where? In
Coventry, sorry. In his torso, in his back.
How old was he at this point?
Baba would have been 15 then. 15 he would have been.
The perpetrators?
14, 15, 17.
Do you know why it happened?
This is probably the bit that got me the most. There was a lot of speculation to do with, there was one I heard it was to do with females that had set it up. Then I'd heard it was sort of being new to the area, being G-checked. But when we watched the documentary, and this is what's really upsetting, is they delved deep into his phone, see what they could find, and you can see them going through it on this program. You should check it out if you get a chance. It will make you a bit teary. Yeah. And they couldn't find anything. And in my head, I'm thinking, my texts are probably in that phone. It's weird. So the other guy was like, right, let's go into his laptop. So they went into his laptop, and the guy had said, right, let's see his Google searches. This is where I bubbled. So they went into his searches, and they wanted to see if he's sort of into drill, if he's gang affiliated, and all he had in his search bar was best credit cards for a 15-year-old. The second search was the best business to start at 15. Yeah, and a lot of it was building himself almost. He had looked at even becoming a bubbling mad. He looked at he did look at like sort of for like jobs when he's older and stuff. And they then went into the notes and stuff, and they checked his notes out. And when they checked his notes out, it had said one of the first ones had said something like to quit smoking and drinking, which I always just say to him, quit smoking and drinking. And the other comments had said on there, start my own business. And one had said to send vehicles back to Senegal, because he was from Senegal originally. And then one had like a motivational quote about, and it said something about don't become arrogant, and make mum proud. Yeah, man. So yeah,
that's really,
it's
really sad.
Yeah. And what got me is that even the person that was doing the investigating had said on there, he said, you know, clearly this is a lad that was a good kid. They say it on TV. This was a kid that was...
That's so nice that they do, though, because they don't usually portray, like, kids in, like, that kind of... that die in that kind of way to be. They kind of make it all gang-related and that kind of stuff. So the fact that they delved into their, like, fair play.
Yeah. No, I agree.
How long ago was this?
This would have February last year.
So it's so recent.
It's recent, yeah. It's recent. And you know what gets me, Keely, is I work with a lot of young people, and one of the things that was said was, oh, wrong place, wrong time. And I said, no. I said, right place at the right time. There's no such thing as... And I said, the reason why this is, he's 14. He's coming back from school because they showed, even in his blazer, which was soaked in blood, they found his tie and a report card that said, well done, keep it up. So I'm not having that. He was at the right place at the right time. So for me, it's, you know, other young people not understanding the importance of one decision, one choice can literally transform your life in a negative way. So it's not just one life that's now being taken, it's four young people now. Baba's not here. And the three lads are in 26 years. Was it worth it?
Of course not.
No.
But the mentality that you've got as a 14-year-old teenage boy and is so much different to, like, the mentality that you would have now. And it's just sad.
That's it. But it's fuel. So I've now started a boxing association called Babacar's Boxing. So that's all. So
he's a legend.
Yeah, man. He's in the building.
Like, he met you, so his legacy could continue to live on. And such a young, taken away, becoming an angel at such a young age, and he's around in spirit, and it's give you more drive. It's put fuel into your bank because you positively impacted his life.
Yeah. I'm certain of that.
I'm certain of that, 100%.
So
so the EP.
The EP 7th of March, Iron and Clay.
Iron and Clay, 7th of March. We'll get one of your songs to go over, like, you know, for the introduction of the video. We'll get one of your songs to go over that. I'm excited to hear it because I'm sure you did tell me that you've done music, but I just... It was early in the morning when I spoke to you.
Nah, it's cool. But it's, as I said, I'm just trying to... It sounds cliche. I'm just trying to forever... evolve and help people, especially just I'm a people. I love people. I love people. You don't want to meet me in Costa and you don't know me because it's game. Why are you going to
empower me?
I'm going to sit and empower you.
Before you've had your coffee?
Nah.
After.
But I will take your marshmallows off the plate or cookies because they're mine. I'm in the building.
So you're going to take your payment before you give the service?
Nah. But it's just me. I get it from my mum, I guess. She's my rock man. I know I've said it already, but why? She's my rock man.
Why was your mum in a wheelchair? I know you mentioned that previously. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's cool. My mum has a condition where her heart... So our heart's on our left. Yeah. My mum's heart's on her right.
No way.
And her arteries are twisted.
Oh.
So she's got an irregular heartbeat. So our hearts will beat... Well, I'm sure they both do. Like 1, 2, 1, 2. My mum's beats 1, 2, 3. She has 3 beats per minute, which allows blood clots to form, and then it causes strokes, TIAs, you name it. And she's had probably 5 strokes. No way. She's forever having strokes, TIAs, and she's still up dancing to reggae, looking cooler than Whoopi Goldberg. But we move. We move. That's what we do. We move. So
she's active. She's walking and stuff.
They say she has a bad heart, and we don't know why she's here. And she's 60 now, and she's the person that keeps me going. Yeah. You know, she's raised them.
That's why she's here.
For real.
Yeah. Have you got any brothers or sisters?
I have. I've got my sister who has just got married recently.
Congratulations.
And half brothers and sisters as well. So that's it.
Have you got anything else that you want to share with me?
Anything else? I'd say that's it, really.
I feel like that story got me. Story got me. What I want you to do before you leave our studio today is look into that camera for me. I'm not putting you on the spot because I'll allow you to get in alignment.
Cool.
And for all of the youth, from your personal experience and struggles.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to anybody who's listening to you today? What's your message?
Wow. You want me to do it in the camp?
In that one, yeah. I feel like it's more personal.
To a young person, what my message is?
Because you work with a lot of young youth, you can do it to youth, or just anybody in general. What message comes to you?
I would say to anybody in any position right now, off the top of my dome, what would I say to a younger me? Keep smashing goals, give everything 100%. And if you are in an audience where your conscience is telling you, I shouldn't be here, you know, this isn't what I want to do, whether your dream is to go to uni, college, work in a supermarket, bin man, whatever it is, like, don't be afraid to not walk away and do your own thing, because that's what it's about. Change the style of clothing if you want to. I've always wanted a pair of Dr. Martens, and something as small as that I've never done, but now I'm at a patch now. I'm doing it. It's my life. It's your life. Take ownership of it. Be the best version of you, and network the life out of everything. Get to know people, but most importantly, just keep going. Keep surviving.
Don't follow the crowd. Follow your intuition.
You see, she just takes the whole...
I'm sorry, you do it all the time.
That's cool, man.
No. But thank you so much for coming on the show. Honestly, your story is inspirational. I usually talk way more than I do because I just always go back to myself. But you're very, very interesting, and it touched my heart. That was the most emotional podcast that I've done.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Jeez.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. Thank you.
And I can't wait to listen to your EP.
7th of March.
Oh, 7th of March. We'll put your tag in the bottom and everything.
Okay. I'm with that.
And we love you, Mark.
Mark
One
Tollis.
last time.
Actually, can I do a shout out?
Of course you can.
Yeah, shout out. Mark Tollis, absolute legend. Georgina Mosley as well. I'm trying to think if there's anyone off the top of the dome. Remain Foster for the videos, and Aaron Wiggins, Lloyd, who's mentor. Everybody, I love you all. And Keely as well.
Oh yeah, you forgot me. I was sitting there like, where's my phone? No, I'm joking.
Nothing happened to me, John, you know this. Cause I'll be on that positive hype. Making shitloads of the money so my mileage nice. No use yet.